Guys, okay, so gosh, I haven't been live on YouTube in years. Well, maybe a year or so ago, I don't know, but it's been forever. So, anyway, although this is on the Intuitive Deborah channel, I just wanted to fuck around with it and just see what's going on in YouTube live world, right? So last couple of weeks, last couple of months, a year, just a high level of we're seeing that these people are coming out who are famous, who are committing suicide. We have Robin Williams, Kate Spade. Um, uh, and Bourdain. And so, this can really affect anybody on a social scale, right? So, one of the things that, and I've also been there, like, I've also been in that place. I've also had been in a place of depression. Definitely have had anxiety. So I love to do things on how to fix that and how to reverse it and how to switch gears when you're in that place, right? So today I wanted to talk about a couple of tips that you could do to kind of, to keep you from going into that slippery slope of the deep dive of depression, right? Tip number one, one of the things I definitely recommend is for you to get an accountability partner, someone that you can just call up like at any time. This could be a BFF, this could be somebody who's a grief counselor, I mean, a suicide counselor, your therapist, whoever it is. Find somebody who can really help you when you get into that place where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really just not in a good place, and have that person who can just kind of lift you up. Maybe they could just talk to you. They could, get you, if they know you really well, raise your vibration, get you to a little bit of a happier place. And of course, always, you can always call the suicide hotline. That's something that I know that a lot of people use, that when they're in that space, that can kind of help them and get them more resources. One of the other things that I highly recommend too is just before you get to that place, set yourself up with some affirmations, right? Affirmations, I know they can sound really silly, when you first say them, if you don't really believe it, like, I am wonderful, I am great. So write out affirmations that are believable for you. I am a great person. I do have tough times, but I am fantastic at, blank. Like, write things out ahead of time that you can kind of pull your affirmations out when you're going into that space, and pull your stuff out and say, oh my gosh, you know what, let me show you. I'll show you a couple of ones that I actually that I wrote out. So I said, I, Deborah Bowen, I know that I will overcome, and I will overcome this situation. I do know that I do have a strong will, and I do have the power to change these feelings that I don't want. And I believe that I deserve to be happy. I own it. I demand it. I acknowledge it. It's mine. I deserve peace of mind in this now moment. Peace belongs to me. Amen. Right? So when you start talking like that and you really believe it, it can raise your frequency, raise your vibration. Okay. So another tip that I have is do a visualization. And this is something, when you're getting into that deep, dark place, right? Visualize a time when you were acing shit, like you were doing amazing, you were doing fantastic, right? A moment in time when you were on the top of the world, right? So maybe it was you got that promotion at work. Maybe you got that bonus that you were waiting for. Maybe your taxes came back and you were like, oh snap, I got 5 grand, and maybe it was the day that your child was born, right? You go back to those places where you felt the best. You felt the very best. Or maybe you were doing something at that time that you were really passionate about, something that you really love to do. You cannot be in two places at once. So once you start feeling those feelings, you can't also be in a state of depression, right? So it kind of helps quickly to shift your perception and to change and shift your physiology and the way that you're feeling, okay? So let's see. I have another. I wrote a couple down. So just setting yourself up for success basically is really the best way, so that you have a plan ahead of time for when you start to go down that slippery slope, you already have these things put in place, right? So Gabby Bernstein says something that I absolutely love, and it's called follow the fun. A lot of times these days we're so busy with schedules of driving here, driving there, going to work, picking up kids, getting dinner, that we basically have forgotten, right? The art of spontaneity and having a good time and having fun. So follow the fun in your life. And if you can't follow the fun because you don't have it, guess what? That's a wake up call. You need to get it together. Like you need to figure out how, how did you get to this place where you don't even enjoy yourself anymore, right? You don't, supposedly you don't have the time. And so it's about putting yourself first and going back to those things that brought you joy, brought you happiness, brought you passion, right? So I hope that these tips helped you. I just wanted to check this out, play around with YouTube Live. It's been a really really long time. So once again, my name is Deborah Go, and I'm the Inner Queen Coach. And what I do is I'm a transformational life coach, and I help people who are men and women. Even though it's about wearing your crown and being a queen, I definitely work with men who are tapped into their feminine side, and I help them get back into their spiritual practice. Right? If you're somebody who's on the spiritual path, and you kind of let life just kind of take over, and you're not on your spiritual path, it kind of help you bring you back to that place. As a coach, I also see what areas of your life need healing. So I'm also a healer, but I'm also a traditional coach, which means I do traditional coaching based off of Tony Robbins. I did his certification, and I'm all about small, quick changes that give you immediate results and lasting results. Okay, so if you're interested in speaking to a life coach like me, go ahead and you can email me at theinnerqueencoach@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. I have a profile page, the Inner Queen Coach, or you can follow me on Instagram. Same thing, the Inner Queen Coach. Or you can just go to my website, innerqueencoach.com. And I hope you have a fabulous day. And TGIF. Bye. Now I got to figure out how to shut it down because I don't see the. Let's see. Oh, okay, guys, hold on. Let's see how I can turn it off. Oh, I could share this out. Who can I share it with? Let's see. Ooh, this is fun. Okay, guys, now I'm just playing with it. So hold on. Oh, I could share the message. Okay, very cool. All right, so now I have to learn how to shut this down. Let's see here. We want to, yes, I'm going to stop streaming. Bye.